Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Dovetail Euro Fishing, where we are going back into Bergsee, Austria. And this time, let's just make sure that the conditions are clear skies this time, or maybe let's say light clouds, but not, rains and such, because right now I feel today is a good day to just have a nice and soothing experience, which is some small winds, but no real, pouring rain or all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure if I ever made a mental note of the place actually being in Austria, but now we at least have that in the good old memory bank until I forget that again. But that's normal because it's not really, I suppose, that important to remember everything as long as one remembers to take a good long deep breath and go for a nice relaxing day of fishing, or at least let's say just shy of half an hour of fishing, or that sort of stuff. And I do swear, I almost feel like the loading screens keep getting longer and longer, but I just might be imagining it. So we've been in the middle low part and in the right part, well, the right area of the lake. So I'm thinking maybe go on either one of these. I'm gonna go to the upper left and see what the world looks like from there. And see the upper left of the quote-unquote diver's goggle, if you will. And again, the lake bank, if you will, the edge of the water seems rather, not too high and all that. It's very low, actually, which is a nice thing to be. So, quick check that our rod and reels and lines and such are the same as they've been before. So, if you want to see them, they're right there in the screen on the right there. So, I maybe shouldn't read them out loud every single time if I haven't changed them. But the reason that they are those are just that they seem to be. They give a very diverse set of different fish, and they've just served me well in every way. And I think I want to say at least a couple of them are also mentioned in many of the online guides to try to get lots of different, all of the boss fish or all of the species and all that. So it can't be all that wrong in that sense as well. I think at least the tiger nut thing is not as common in those as the other two, but that has indeed served me well. So I'm like, well, since it has worked so far, I don't see a good reason to change it out. Oh, then before I even get to, well, oh, that then went rather quickly. I didn't have a. Oh well, but losing fish is part of the program in this. It just sometimes happens. It's fine. Before I let go of this one, I might as well just put it into 25. I believe I forgot to put the other two to that as well. But that's normal. And I did mention that the the mountains in the distance do remind me of the. Oh, I'll get back to that thought in just a hot second. Number 1 is going. Let's just oh, number 3 is going as well. That's whoa. Okay, well, let's just hope that we get both of them then. Yes. Oh, and the other one is going as well. So okay, try to keep the mental note of go to number 3 rod next, because that is the one where the fish has been the longest one. Has been the longest of those two. So let's just hope that goes to plan, and let's hope that none of the fish, get away. But they could, and we already lost one, technically speaking, on this video here. Even though I didn't really get the chance to even take the rod, but Or well, if I would have been lightning quick, maybe I could have, but still, I suppose that in the end counts as well. But indeed, it's one should never lose sleep over the fish that one loses in this game, or really in any fishing game, because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, well, at least I'm trying to think of a fishing game where the fishing wouldn't be relaxing. I think they all kind of maybe are that. If I suppose maybe the one exception would be like if you try to do the very, very difficult fish in something like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 15. Common carp of 9.39 kilograms. Number 3 was the one I was supposed to go to first, right? I hope. I really hope that. But yeah, so like I'm trying to like scan in my head all the games that have fishing in them or are fishing games I've played like as a kid, like at least a couple of of or at least one like a browser game essentially, or well a browser-like game really. Uh, you know that that runs and looks all Windowsy, you know, or well it looks more like a almost like like a set of Excel menus and then there's an actual graphical like game in the center there. But anyway, I've played like something like that. I've played at least one or two of like ice fishing games, but they're really pretty soothing as well. Well, really pixely, but still. Uh, there's a number of like role-playing games with fishing in them, but indeed, I can think of like was it Breath of the Wild 2? I think a number of Zelda games have them, but I haven't played those. Common Carp 8.74. I mean, I haven't played the fishing game, mini-gamed Zelda games. I believe Nier has fishing. Nier's fishing is interesting. I mean the first game Nier, which might be called something else in different parts of the world. But you know, the one with the old-ish dude and the daughter and all that good stuff. In that game, there is a fishing mini game. I hear people have had issues like getting that fishing game like mini game to work or to get a feel for it. But it's I'd say that when you get a feel for it, really, it's also kind of relaxing because when you get what you're supposed to do, it turns really easy. At least it did for me. But indeed, maybe Final Fantasy 15 is an example where the most difficult fish can be a bit stressful to try to take. But then again, you know, moments like that have their place in fishing. I mean, if you've done real world fishing, I'm sure you know the feeling when you maybe get a little stressed out if you lose a fish or you're afraid of losing a really big fish or something. That's possible, sure. But it's, you know, not a bad idea to try to just, you know, have, you know, an optimistic outlook on the situation. And they were all common carps. That is, I would have to imagine that is really, really unlikely. A common carp of 8.71 kilograms. All of them just under 10, I think, but still of decent size. That's cool. And, well, I think they were all pretty much of a similar-ish color as well. That's kind of, like, really rare. Oh, and I didn't get the chance to... Let's put the quarter dumbbell on the third one. I didn't get the chance to do that last time. So, how about we put one in those weeds? Oh, wait, let's put the float one in those weeds. So let's put this one just real close to our feet on the left there. But we will put one very far up away as well. Yeah, that's good. And let's put the pop-up tiger nuts, because I believe this was a floating bait, right? Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, no. It is. Bait float. Yeah, good. Because I think the game at least at some point told me that, you know, if you're gonna go to the weeds, then use something that's a floating thing. So let's just see if we can... Ah, crap. It's gonna be tricky. So let's see if we can deposit that in those weeds, just for the interest in trying to do that. Oh, that's not, yeah, not far enough. Come on, just get right in that. It's kind of hard to get it right there. Oh, well, the thing is, it's like, as far as the graphics goes, that's in the weeds, but then again, or the as far as the game is concerned, it was in the weeds, but the icon was of the silt variety. Maybe it's just a bit of a, yeah, it looks like it's just silt. Well, that's fine. Let's just leave it there and see what it does. Oh, wait, did it change? No, it didn't. No, it just went to the number. Okay. So the one that's nowhere yet is 1, and that's the one we will throw far away, just a bit left of center, and just go with it. Yeah. Let's see all the way where that goes. Of 70, well, it was 8 for a second, but 77 meters away and 7.6 meters deep. Ooh. Oh, well, it went to 76 meters while there, but it's still sinking, and there you go. 7.5 out of 7.6, so it's going to stay there then. Okay, good. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a glimpse of a fish there, but let's just look at that bait number 3 there for a second, and just, number 2 is next to the weeds there, nice and snug. But indeed, as if you've seen me do the fishing before, I oftentimes do this, that I just leave the bait right in my feet, and then I watch the fish actually, like, physically come to the bait there and take a bite, and that's kind of fun to watch. It doesn't always happen, of course, but sometimes it does. I think it was in one of my and yeah, I think it was in one of my practice runs when I got a really big boss fish right from my feet. It was in the kind of a river-esque. Oh, a fish! I see it. See that? Yeah, that might have been a perch, but I got a now relay number 1. And now, yeah, the perch. Oh, and all of them went at the same time again. That's just my luck then. So, out of a principal notion, let's say that we go for the third one first, because I think that the third one got the bite like a couple of seconds before number 2 did. I think. Not sure, but I think so. But again, there's no need to worry about this, whether or not, we get all the fish or not. It's actually pretty likely that we'll lose at least one of those 3. But yeah, so all right, I had a thought about the mountains and the such when I mentioned last time. I think that it reminds me of my road trip to Norway as a small kid, and yeah, it absolutely does that. We went by car and we drove around Norway for, like, I don't even know. I was very little at the time, maybe 5-ish years old or something. So or 6. I'm gonna probably just remember that wrong, but in that ballpark. And we were, on the road and just spent nights in different sorts of rented cabins and that sort of stuff, for maybe, I'm not sure, a week or 2 weeks maybe. Leather carp of 7.54 kilograms. Not bad, not bad. And then number 3. If we're lucky, we get all 3, but, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. So here goes. Just pull that one to us, nice and smooth, nice and smooth, nice and smooth. And just take it just as easy as can be taken, with just little amounts of movement, because there's no need to trash around with it. It's gonna be just fine. As long as it doesn't get too close, the tension should be pretty much okay. It shouldn't be a problem, really. So, just nice and easy, nice and easy. Come to Creosticks. And we'll get a nice picture of you and get your stats into the annals of memory, at least. So, come now. Come now. It'll be just fine. It'll be perfectly okay. I promise. I would imagine it's not even gonna really hurt. I hope. There you go. And I don't mean that fish don't feel pain. I just mean that I'll be gentle. You see? Yes. Common carp of 6.87 kilograms and a decently interesting dark color as well. And ooh, what was that? I think the whole thing sort of like teleported from left to right there in a really weird way. But sure, whatever you say. As long as you didn't get away, I'm fine. It might have been a bit of a glitch there, but you know, details. It's not that important. Honestly, so far this game hasn't had too many bad glitches. I think the Foundry dock place is decently likely to have some glitching with where the line goes, like, you know, through some geometry and all that. That can be a little bit confusing for the game there. But beyond that, I think the game, at least in my experience so far, has worked pretty stable. I don't think it has crashed even once, I think. Not sure, but I think so. Oh, let's take the fish and see what it is. It looked like a perch but it's not. The fish that looked at the bait just before it went off, but it might have been a different fish though. It looked like it could have been a perch, but then again, I've been wrong before. It's hard to. I'm not very good at identifying them under the water there in this game, but this is a tench of 4.04 kilograms. That's a nice, good, plump tench. Okay, so any thoughts? Maybe if we put just... I'm wondering, should I put all of them right next to me and then just keep an eye on them so we could get the joy of seeing the fish that come for it, because we don't need to be watching anywhere else. That's kind of my philosophy here. Let's see if it works. I've been wrong before in many ways, so I wonder if the last one was a little too far. Number 3. Let's do number 3 again. It's a little far. Oddly enough, it wasn't supposed to be that far, but okay. So just barely into the water there. That might be a bit too little even. Let's see where it is. Well, the number 3 is still flowing outward from there, so I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a little too close at first, but the other two are absolutely not. So let's just see if we can put a nice, good view on the shallow. Yeah, as you can see, the number 3 is floating, or flowing just enough in the direction there to be edible, probably around at that point already. I hope, at least. But the other two, absolutely, I'm gonna say that are edible already there, so it's gonna be just fine. But I do hope that we get a bite before they go too deep, so we can actually see the fish again, because it's always fun. I at least like it. But yeah. And I've been wondering though if I believe at this point there is already a new fishing game by, I believe, maybe even the same, at least the same company. I'm not sure if it's the same creators as people themselves, but at least the same company, I think, or at least the same publisher or whatever. So I haven't gotten that. Games cost money, and it is and this is more like an exercise in just relaxing and playing a fun fishing game. So I'm not sure. I've been asking before if people would want to see me do a different fishing game or just more of this one. And I haven't gotten really a good feel for that yet. So do tell me what you think of that if you have any feels on the matter. But oh, that's a biggie. Ooh. It didn't stop to eat, but that was a big fish. A pretty big fish. My rough guess would be that it was maybe a carp. Ooh. We have fishies, we have fishies. Haha. Awesome. That's so fun to see. Okay. Uh, from my immediate, like, from what I saw there, they didn't look massive, but then again, I don't know exactly if they, correlate completely with their actual size in the water. I'm not sure. I think some do because I still say that I feel like in my practice runs I've seen. Now I'm second guessing myself. Did I only get a big boss fish from my feet without seeing it, or was there a different time as well in a different practice run lake where I wanna say that in the I forget the name. It might have been the St. John's one, or is St. John's? Oh boy, what lake is the one that's kind of a rectangular one from like the number 3 lake or something? I think that one. I think from that lake I hold that thought. Common carp of 8.74. I think from that lake I did get a boss fish from my feet as well, pretty much, and I saw it take a bite, and I want to say it looked big then, but from that one I am not 100% certain. Also, it's actually possible that these fish might be the last ones because I'm kind of running a little bit against the clock in that I wouldn't have time to do a full 3 bait thing again, but let's see. So it's perfectly possible. And of course, the number 2 fish we may lose still, so we just don't know. But let's see. At least we will very, like almost 100% likely we will get this one at least. So that's just nice and smooth. I'm pretty much always keeping down the reel button, but the tension is just set to a level where it shouldn't cause issues with the tension in either being too much or too little, and it just lets the fish sort of tire itself out. It's a little jittery there against the shore, but we got it done. Let's see what you are. A mirror carp of 8.6 kilograms, and the last one. Come on, come on. Good. There we are. That, again, when I get the tension going in the line, that should usually mean that it's going to stay there. At least so far that has always been the case. Correction, not quite always been the case, but in like 99% of the time, I think. I believe at least in 1 or 2 cases let's say 98% of the time. At least in 1 or 2 cases, I think it has been where the fish has sort of gotten away from real close to me, and I'm not sure if it's from the tension just spiking in a nanosecond, rather glitchily, just like boom, or if it just can happen. I'm not going to call the game glitchy just to avoid taking responsibility of not being like an expert of the game, but anyway, point being still that when I get the tension going in the reeling in, it should come all the way to be seen what it is, and come all the way to my hand, let's say, and it's coming in at a pretty smooth pace at this point. So it I take that back. It's a little still going. Oh, but there we are. And now you are. What are you? Ooh, a leather carp, I think. That's my educated guess here. And a leather carp of 8.35 kilograms, a white, yellow, and a bit of a gray on the forehead there. But with that, though, I am all out of time for this episode. But I do hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please do drop a like or a comment, or even subscribe or share if you want to. It will really, really help. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.